day for this episode of The Starting Line. And today, we are going to be thinking about something that's very interesting. You may or may not have thought a lot about before. We're going to have a think about good and evil.
Good and evil. Like when you have like an angel on one shoulder and a devil.
Or like you see on the movies, films.
Yeah.
Well,
like, you know,
okay.
Like good and evil.
No.
Yeah.
I like how you put yourself as an angel, whereas I should be the angel.
Oh, it just felt natural.
No.
Right, they're going to continue to argue about that probably. So, we're going to have a great time today. We're going to have some fun and some games, competition, challenges, and think about good and evil.
Warm up.
Okay, for our warm-up game today, we're going to play not a normal game of rock, paper, scissors, but giant rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, giant it is.
Okay, giant rock, paper, scissors. Doesn't involve rock. It is rock.
Okay, rock.
Paper. Scissors. Okay. Now, we're gonna run on the spot.
Yeah.
And when I say rock, paper, scissors, you have to choose one of the three actions.
Okay.
And if the one you choose is beaten by the one I choose, then you've got to do 3 squats. Okay? Now, just in case anyone doesn't know, rock beats scissors.
Yes, it does.
Scissors beat paper. And paper beats rock for some reason that I've never understood. But there we go. Okay, are we ready?
Yes, I am indeed.
Let's get running on the spot. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, we got the same.
Oh!
Okay. Let's go again. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, let's go again. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, I'll do 3 squats. I know I didn't say I'd do, but here we go.
Well
there
done.
You go. That's 3 squats. Right, let's go again. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, 3 squats for Emily.
1, 2, 3.
Well done. Good squats.
Thank you.
All right, let's go again. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh.
Same.
We could open a paper shop. Okay. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh.
Yay!
Okay, I'll do 2. 1, 2, 3.
Well done.
Right, okay. Last one then.
Okay.
Let's go. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, the same. I hope you kept up with that and did some squatting if you didn't quite beat our actions. But that was a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Let's get on with the rest of it.
Ref's whistle.
Your first rest whistle question today is, if you could solve any problem in the world, what would you choose? It's a big question, so have a think about it. If you could solve any problem in the world, what would you choose? And chat to the people around you. Okay, so what do you guys think? If you could solve any problem in the world, what would you choose? Quite a lot of problems to choose
There's
from.
lots of problems. What
Uh,
about you?
for me, it would be that everyone has clean water.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, because not everyone in the world does. And if you don't have clean water, it makes you very, very ill.
It
So
does.
that would
Yeah.
be what
Yeah.
I would say.
Oh, I know what I would. I mean, there's loads of things.
Yeah.
Loads.
But I would go for a particular type of poverty, which is educational poverty. Because in lots of places in the world, loads of kids don't get to go to school
True.
and don't get to learn the way we do in our country. And actually, sometimes we might get a bit fed up at school, but actually, in most ways, it's a huge blessing to us.
Because if they don't learn in other parts of the world, then they might not get a job and they might not have money, and then they'd really struggle to live.
Education is a really great thing.
It is. So I wonder what you picked.
Coach's Tactics.
So what was the world like in the beginning? Let's hear the story of creation from Bob Hartman's Rhyming Bible before we have a little think about that.
It's all good. There was nothing at first. There was nothing but God. No planets, no mountains, no chickens, no cod. Then God said the word, and like that there was light. The light he called day, and the dark he called night. And then God said water, and water there was, and the waters below and the waters above. And just like a canopy way up on high, the bright baby blue and the white cloudy sky. And when God said gather, the waters below washed into seas with a tumbling flow, and left behind dry land, the dark fertile earth, where flowers and trees and fruit came to birth. God spoke into being the sun, stars and moon, for morning and evening and nighttime and noon. Light for the darkness and light for the day, to mark off the seasons as years pass away. Now fill up the ocean, said God, gurgling fish, and fin, tail and tentacle answered his wish. But when he cried bird, a skyfall replied, with a squawk and a swoop and a duck and a dive. When God roared their names, the wild beasts appeared. Now cattle, said God, now sheep to be sheared. Now animals big, now animals small. Now creatures who slither and skitter and crawl. And then with a smile, God said, women and men, made in my image, made to be friends, made to make babies, sweet boys and girls, made to take care of my beautiful world. And when he had finished, as most artists should, God looked at his work and he said, it's all good. And when he had finished, as most artists do, he rested and then blessed that day of rest too.
So that is how creation began. It was beautiful, it was peaceful, there was harmony, it was perfect. God and people were together and it was all good. That's what happened in the beginning of the Bible. Then if you check this out at the end of the Bible, you'll see that it says this: behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them and they will be his people. And God himself will be with them as their God. He will wipe away every tear from their eye, and death shall be no more. Neither shall there be mourning, nor crying, nor pain anymore, for the former things have passed away. Christians believe that the earth will be perfect in the end. That there'll be no pain, no suffering, once again peace, complete beauty and harmony. There are a lot of similarities for how the whole story of the Bible begins and ends. It starts perfect and will once again be perfect. Christians believe that God created the world to be perfect, but he didn't create us to be robots that did everything he asked. He gave us choice so that we could decide what to do. Adam and Eve, you might have heard about them, were the first people in the Bible who messed up. They were the first people to be on the earth. They messed up and we've continued to do so ever since, all of us. We live in this world now where it's not yet been made perfect again. There's a lot of good and bad in our world. So, in the beginning, the world was perfect. But Adam and Eve sinned, which means they did something that wasn't good. We look at this word sin in our session about why Jesus died. And then people continue to mess up throughout history, and we all do stuff wrong. Christians believe that the only perfect person was Jesus, who made the ultimate sacrifice, giving his life on the cross for us so that we can be forgiven for the bad things that we do and have a relationship with God. And by believing in Jesus, Christians believe that we can be with God in the end when all is good again. In the beginning, it was perfect, and in the end, it will be perfect. But we're currently living here, now. So, how do we deal with the bad stuff that is in the world now? We'll think about that in our next Coach's Tactics.
Halftime challenge.
So your halftime game is to make an origami salt cellar like this and put exercises inside to determine what movements you do. There are instructions of how to make these on the worksheet, which you can download on every session of the starting line by looking below the video on YouTube. Instructions can also be found online, and you just need a piece of paper, some scissors and a pen, although you can choose to make it really colourful if you want to. So once you've made it, you'll do this. So on the outside, you will put 4 colours. On the inside, you'll put 8 numbers. And then you can put an exercise under the flap of each number. So to find out which exercise you need to do, you're going to hold it like this and choose a colour. So let's say blue, and you'll spell it out. So you'll push your fingers away from each other, then back in, B, then pull away from the other hand out to the side, L, push your fingers away, U, and then pull the hands away from each other, E. So that's the motion you're trying to do. So let's do it again a bit quicker. B, L, U, E. Now you can see 4 of the numbers. So I'm going to choose one number and count that many as we did with the letters. So I've got 1, 8, 4, or 5. I'm going to choose 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now I'm going to choose a number. I've got 2, 3, 6, or 7. So I'm going to choose the number 2. I'm going to lift the flap, and the action says do 5-star jumps. So then you will do 5-star jumps, and you will continue and have another 9 turns so that you get moving around and doing different actions and hopefully enjoying yourself. So have a go at making one of these origami salt cellars and see what exercises you're going to do. Be creative, choose your own colours, choose your own exercises, and maybe even make somebody at home do it too.
Ref's whistle.
Our second ref's whistle question is, what can people do about the bad things in the world? What can you do? What can other people do? What can people do about the bad things in the world? Have a little pause to think about that for a minute.
Coach's Tactics.
The struggle between good and evil is real. A lot of us are good people who sometimes do things that aren't good. There are loads of things that can tempt us to stop us from doing good things and making good choices. Perhaps it's lying to try and get out of trouble, taking something that isn't ours, cheating, joining in when someone's calling someone names. There's lots of things. And it can sometimes be hard to resist making bad choices. And it's all people that make bad choices, sometimes. And some things that are wrong with the world, one good choice can't fix. But many good choices by many people, could that make a difference? In the Bible, in a book called Romans, chapter 12 and verse 21, the writer says to overcome evil with good. What great advice! Overcome evil with good. That sounds a little similar to something that Martin Luther King Jr. said. He said this: darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. And there are loads of amazing Christians throughout history that have brought light into darkness. And we regularly talk about people like William Wilberforce, who led the campaign to abolish slavery so that it became illegal to buy and sell people. Martin Luther King Jr., who we've talked about, he worked for freedom and peace and equality so that one day all people will be treated fairly regardless of their skin colour. Mother Teresa, she's talked about a lot. She brought compassion and love to orphan children. These are big things. Though it's not just about the big things, but the small things too. J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote the Lord of the Rings series, said, "Some believe that it's only great power that can hold evil in check. But that is not what I have found. It's the small, everyday deeds of ordinary folk that keep the darkness at bay. Small acts of kindness and love. You can make a difference. You can overcome the bad stuff in the world by doing good." In the height of the awful COVID-19 pandemic, we saw good. People coming together to help their neighbours. People appreciating our key workers more and making more of an effort to thank them. More people giving to food banks, communities supporting each other, people volunteering to help others in their community, volunteering to help with testing and vaccinations, Marcus Rashford ensuring all children have food, and loads more. Even in the difficult times, there is always good to be found, and the good always makes a difference. Sometimes we feel like our small acts of kindness won't make a difference, but they will. If we regularly do good, kind things for others, then collectively we'll make a huge difference. We can overcome evil with good. Your final whistle challenge is to do some good this week, of course. You may already have an idea in your head that you'd like to do, or you could do something with others at home. Perhaps you want to think about the problems in the world that you thought of earlier and chat to a grown-up at home about what you could do to bring light into that darkness and overcome evil with good. If you're thinking about poverty in the world, you could give food to others in this town through food banks. If you want to help stop loneliness, you could work with an adult at home or your class at school to write letters or cards to a nursing home where they might not get many visitors. If you want to help people who are homeless, you could spend some time with a parent or carer making some food to give out to people. There are loads of things you can do to help others. Remember, if it involves helping people you don't know, make sure you work with a trusted adult who can do it with you. So what are you going to do to bring some good to the world and overcome evil with good? Take some time now to work it out. Perhaps you use the worksheets to write down your ideas, and I'll see you next time. Bye!